Stories are seeking someone to devour. My name is Osadumebi, and every week I will tell you a short story written by a Nigerian writer or author. That's the long and short of it. So without much ado, this week's story is by Grace Ogbe, and it's the concluding part of the story titled Jessica's Scam. Catch up on last week's episode for the first half. I woke up giddy the next morning. Memories of the night flashed through my mind. I quickly whispered a word of prayer for the injured girl, deciding to check on them later when I'm done with my chores, as it was still too early and I didn't want to give the impression that I was only checking on them to remind them of my money. I was brushing my teeth when my phone rang, and even when I felt like dancing to my ringtone before picking the call, as I sometimes do, something told me this was an important call. I did a premature gurgle and spat into the sink before rushing off to grab my phone. It was from an unknown number, and I remembered that I had not saved Mama's number from the night before. Yes, I easily began referring to her as Mama. Her mothering talk from the night before was really remarkable. She probably is a mother anyway. She explained to me how the night had been rough and how she hardly slept, but she thanked God the surgery had been successful and that the bullet barely missed her lungs. We both muttered a strings of, "Thank you, Lord." Then she went on to tell me how her son was already in the bank, but that due to necessary processes, the transfer he was making was being delayed. She then started to complain about a myriad of things. About how her son does not call her often and has refused to come home all these years, and how the little girl was her granddaughter whose mom died at childbirth after taking in out of wedlock. She even started to cry when she started talking about how she wishes her husband were still alive. I tried to comfort her and promised her that I would talk to her son about what she had told me. A little while later, after having my bath, I sent a text to know the status of everything. It took him a while to come online, and when he did, he sounded distraught, almost frustrated. Said he was having a long day and that the transfer was taking more processes than usual. And he was then complaining bitterly about how it was in times of emergencies like these that these glitches happen. I told him to take it easy and calm down. He then opened up to me about the hospital giving his mom another bill for the oxygen support his sister had been on in the past 24 hours. I asked how much, and he said 35,000 naira. I didn't even stop to think. Before I knew it, I saw my hands typing, "Let me see what I can do." He said he really appreciated, and that he would just add the 35K to the previous amount when doing the transfer. He asked me to confirm my bank details again. I did. He assured me he was making the transfer right away, but that it may take some time. All I had left in my account was 17,000 naira. So I began brainstorming who to ask for money. I asked a few friends for a 20,000 naira loan, promising to give them back the next day as it was very urgent. I eventually got a loan, but on the condition that I would return it as promised. It was not her money, but money from a contribution. I assured her that she had nothing to worry about. I made the transfer to Mama speedily, and then I called her afterwards to confirm receipt. They both confirmed and thanked me profusely, with the son assuring me he was already working on the refund. That same day, in the evening, he sent another text on Messenger asking if I had received an email with details of the transfer. I told him I hadn't. He apologized and told me to please exercise some patience, that I will soon receive it. He then told me that he had sent a total of 150,000 naira, adding an extra 70,000 naira to cover the remaining bills. Then, he asked if I had an additional 50,000 naira to assist his mom again because the hospital needed payment to continue administering drugs to his sister. That was when it dawned on me. Like a flash of lightning, it was as if a veil had been suddenly removed from my eyes. I knew instantly that I had been scammed. As expected, as soon as I brought this realization to his attention, he blocked me. The mom's number suddenly switched off. I thought of my school fees, the debt. I couldn't bring myself to cry. How could I have been so blind? Who will even believe my tale? Grace Ogbe is a writer who resides in Surulere, Lagos. She is a creative writer and editor who works both as a freelance and as a marketing associate in her 9-to-5. You can read more of her work on Medium at Grace Okoliko and connect with her on Instagram at Grace Ogbe and on Facebook at Grace Amina Ogbe. Details and links will be in the episode description. If you've got a story you would like to be featured on this podcast, or a published book you want to make into an audiobook, I would love to hear from you. Send an email to info@osadumebi.com or send me a message at Osadumebi on either Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, or X. I look forward to collaborating with you. And if you've enjoyed this week's episode, please subscribe, leave a review, and share this episode with that one person you know will enjoy listening. Tell them that stories are a good escape for a few minutes each week.